This is the Volvo XC90, Volvo's flagship model and biggest SUV in the range. But what does it actually compete with? We're looking at the Mercedes-Benz GLS, Porsche Cayenne, BMW X7, Audi Q7, Range Rover Sport. There's a lot of luxurious SUVs in this category. Is the Volvo up to it? Does it fit? Let's find out. Now this particular model is the XC90 Ultra trim. This is the top spec and it's also got the dark styling. So this is the best specification XC90 that you can get. Now the first thing that captures your attention with the XC90 is these aggressive looking lights, which are matrix LED full active beam system headlights. These really give the XC90 a strong presence on the road. Now, if you're like me and you're thinking, well, how do you make lights better than another car? Active high beam system headlights are exactly what they say, they're active. So that means that the high beam headlights are going to react to other cars on the road. They're going to be proactive as you're driving. Overall gives the driver a lot more vision when driving the car. There's no need to knock your high beam headlights on and off. Little things that make a very big difference, especially when you're driving at night. Big win with the Volvo. Now on a 70, 80 grand vehicle, I don't want to be cleaning the headlights. Headlight washers, automated, that clean the headlights as you're driving. Now we've got this aggressive looking grille. This is the dark black styling grille. And it's also got a little camera at the front, which the 360 cameras plug in. More about that later. But initially on the front, this contrast between the gray and the black styling grille, beautiful view. This particular metallic color is platinum gray. And traditionally you see a lot of SUVs that are luxurious, Range Rovers, Q7s that go for that black. A lot of XC90s that go for a black color. Lately, the metallic grays that you can get in these vehicles is something else, right? Now you combine that with the dark styling package, you've got these black roof rails, the black trim, and the contrast of the metallic grey, the styling's so much better. If you're not looking for a grey, there's 7 other colours you can choose from. Another big win of the dark styling is the privacy glass. The tints are extremely strong. Almost can't see in at all. What we see with a lot of manufacturers with privacy glass is the slightly tinted. I'm talking about like 10%. The XC90 privacy glass is not far off limousine tints, right? It's so dark. Looking at the alloys, we've got these chrome bicolor alloys. Really look well. The black and the contrast trim look great. And these particular alloys are 21-inch alloys. You've also got 22-inch alloys as an optional extra that you can go, making the wheels even bigger than they are currently. Moving across to the rear of the vehicle. So overall, it's a classic Volvo rear. Again, this is a black styling pack, so you've got the privacy glass that comes on, following that metallic contrast with the black. You look at the car and you think, well, look, the design, the shape, everything, is it exciting? Is it overwhelming? No, it's not. You know, you can go for a really cool car with a crazy shape and a crazy design, but you're not going for a Volvo for that. You're going for a Volvo for the luxurious, the safety, the driving assistance. But look, that's my opinion. Maybe you're thinking, you know, I absolutely love the design and the exterior of the XC90. It's the best physical car on the road. It's a premium luxurious car that's extremely safe. That's the big win about Volvo. Now in terms of options, the particular car that I'm on doesn't have a tow bar, but you can get the optional tow bar. It's going to cost you £1,400. It's an electric foldable, it comes out. There you go, £1,400 will get you a tow bar. So first impressions of the interior, right? Luxurious leather feel. I like this little wood dash, contrasts with the leather really well. What I would say is this model right now is great, it's beautiful. I think what's happening right now in the automotive world is there's a lot of competition on interior. Manufacturers are competing for luxurious new ways in order to make really nice interiors. Manufacturers are bringing out ebony leather. We're seeing a lot of really cool stuff with dash. We're seeing some manufacturers produce rotating dash. So there's a competition for high technology combined with premium luxurious interior. Even for volume brands, it's not just luxurious brands. In 3 years' time from now, given the amount of cars and luxurious and tech that's competition, I would say the next version of the XC90 needs to be lifted on the interior in order to keep up with the fast demand. The next model down the line probably needs a lift in terms of tech, dash, leather, everything in order to stay current. We're seeing a lot of that right now. So now we've got to look at, if we're paying 70, 80K for an SUV, what are we actually getting for that, right? We're looking at something that's luxurious that we want. So what does the Volvo XC90 actually come with? Well, we're looking at full Napa leather. That's real quality Napa leather, all right? One thing to point out is the leather's not vegan. In terms of the seats, we're looking at heated seats and ventilated seats on the Ultra Spec edition. If you want the ventilated seats, where the seats are going to go cold as well, you need to get the Ultra Spec. In terms of the tech, we're looking at Apple CarPlay as standard. One thing to point out is you've got to plug the phone into your wire to get the Apple CarPlay. But to be honest with you, this system's got that much tech and that much nav and other assistants, the Google Assistant and apps all built in to the Volvo system. You don't necessarily need the wireless Apple CarPlay. You absolutely need the Apple CarPlay. Plug it in via your wire. You've also got a wireless charging. So that means you can throw your phone straight down, providing it's not in a case. You've also got memory seats as standard. In terms of sound, we've got the Volvo standard sound system. Then we upgrade to the Harman Kardon, right? The premium full everything upgrade is the Bauer & Wilkins. The Bauer & Wilkins is a high fidelity system. There's also a subwoofer in the back, along with this dash at the front, which sits with the Bauer & Wilkins, multiple speakers around. The best sound system that you can get on a Volvo. Now, in terms of luxury, we've got this ash wood that goes all the way through the car. Combine that with the gear lever, which is Orifers Sweden. Am I saying that right, Joe? Orifers Sweden crystal gear lever. Again, luxury. That's what you're going to get in a car of this value. And we've got cup holders standard. And you might think, why am I talking about cup holders on a 70, 80 grand car? Look, cup holders are getting too advanced in cars. I've seen cup holders pop out the dash, but then you put your cup holder in it. We tried it on another car. I won't say the manufacturer, but the cup holder popped out of the glove box. And I thought, this is cool. Put the coffee in, 2 minutes in the journey, the coffee's spilling everywhere. So simple cup holders. The little things do matter. We've got an armrest storage for chargers, 2 USB-C cables, along with a little compartment, plenty of space. One thing I wanted to check with Volvo is they do these line door bins, right? You throw your things in, and they're not going to rattle everywhere as you're driving. I've not seen the line door bins on the XC90. Something to point out. Maybe it's a design feature, they don't have them. I don't know the reasoning, but the XC90 doesn't have the same line door bins that say the XC60 or the XC40 have. So I've got a full 360 camera right now as I view down, and I've also got a rear camera as well as I'm reversing. A lot of manufacturers are updating to HD cameras, which I'm sure we'll see on the next XC90 model in terms of the clarity of the camera, but it's there. There's a 360 camera and a reverse camera. So plenty of space in the back of the XC90 as you'd expect. Now, one thing I want to point out is it feels very executive. And what I mean by that is there isn't necessarily a full flat floor. The two rear passengers have got their own kind of private floor space. Now, the negatives might be that it takes up a little bit more room space. Depends on what's important to you. The positive is we have got this booster seat in the middle, and this is going to boost the seat right up, which is built into the car. So what else is nice about the back? We've got this enormous glass panoramic roof. For the rear passengers, makes the drive so much better. You can see everything. We've also got heated adjustable seats, so I can actually adjust the heated seats from the back. And we've also got 4-zone climate control. Rear blinds, executive premium feel, manually adjusted that go all the way up. Right here, I can just clip them to here. I've also got a charging port in the rear. An armrest that I can pull straight down. Pull, and I've got 2 cup holders that sit right there. Cups slot in, plenty of cup holders. Simply slot back and it goes all the way in. So like any 7-seater, the very rare 2 seats, you get less room, right? That's standard in most 7-seaters. But let's put it to the test. Can I fit in the back? That's exactly what we're going to try and find out. So, manually adjustable seats. I go all the way back and I can take them a little bit further if I need to. Now, I'm going to try and climb in. Not going to lie, this might be a struggle, but we'll give it a go. And I'm here. Okay, I'm going to drop my seats in. Okay, I couldn't go for longer than 10 minutes on this journey, I'm not going to lie. You know, there's other models like Land Rover, Range Rover Sports, the Q7s where they have the 2 rear seats. They're great. I'm just a big guy and I can't fit in these, you know what I mean? Right now my legs are just going to go. What I would say is, for your standard size person, let me just move this seat forward, is it's okay. There's a little bit of leg room. I've also got a cup holder on the right side as well, all right? So there's little things in here, and I've also got a heating ventilation here. So there is a little bit for the very rare seat passengers. Joel, you're gonna have to help me climb out of this car. So in terms of boot space, which is gonna be really important to an XC90 driver, with the 2 seats down, we're looking at a big 640 litre boot. What we've also got with the boot space within the XC90 is we've got this little divider, right? So this is where the Volvo has a massive win. The little things and the attention to detail are what make the Volvo a little bit different. We've got a little things like these hooks. You might need to hook things on there. We've got this little strap. We can strap things in. And it's the little things like that that really add a lot of value to a car like this. Straps, hooks, dividers, cables, make a big difference to the boot of the car. So if I lift the two seats up, the 6th and the 7th seats, and we're at full capacity, right? We've got 7 people in the whole of the vehicle. We've still got 260 litres of boot space in the back of the car. Plenty of boot space, even with the 7 seats utilised. Right now, as we've folded the 2 rear seats down, the 6th and the 7th, but we've also folded the actual passenger seats down. So now, with just the 2 seats in the front and the full flat load bed, we're now looking at 1,816 litres of boot space. You've basically got your own little mini luxurious van. An option that we take for granted because it's standard with most cars, but also matters, is the electric tailgate of the XC90. Although it's a luxury, it's now something you kind of expect. Now this particular model is £84,400. If you go for the Ultra spec and you select all the options, everything, you can go up to £91,200. What I usually like to do is stand here and talk about the different specs and trims and pricing and all that. Joel, our kind cameraman and editor and produces everything, is going to kindly put on that screen right now. With Volvo's, the specs and the trims and the options can be quite advanced and quite tricky to study because there's so many options you can get and so many different styles and specs, which is a bonus. We just want to simplify it when we show you. £91,000, £84,000, a lot of cash for a car. The lease deals on XC90s that we see in the market fluctuate, but right now at the time of filming these videos, there's some awesome deals. If you're interested in learning more about XC90 lease deals, click the link below and it'll take you straight to the website and you can build your own lease deal. And you can view everything. There's even a calculator where you can build your own deal. Now let's get straight back into the car and talk about the drive. So right now I'm driving the Volvo XC90. Upon the first drive, it's certainly spacious, luxurious, feels good. Is it ultra luxurious? Well, that's the question that we're going to find out right now. It feels extremely comfortable, right? Like it's almost joyful. This car honestly feels like the most comfortable, easy drive possible. Another nice feature is the massage seats. It's really a big, luxurious option, being able to have a massage while you're driving. One thing we've also got as well for the quiet driving is the laminated glass. Really makes a big difference. Now just remember, with the laminated glass, the quiet driving, you only get that on the Ultra trim. The car has adaptive suspension. So what the active air suspension does is it actually reacts to the speed that you drive in the car. So if I'm driving the car faster, the air suspension is going to change and it's going to adapt in comparison to me, say, doing 20 miles an hour. And look, when a car has adaptive suspension, honestly, do we feel it? This is one of the first cars I've actually driven and I've thought, yeah, you do feel that softness as it just sort of glides and sits on the floor. Makes the car so much more comfortable to drive. And I never thought I'd say that, to be honest with you, before, because I get in a lot of cars and they have such a similar feel. Well, the XC90 certainly has a softness to it. So the Volvo's got a number of adaptive features. There's a lot of tech going on as we're driving the car right now. Adaptive cruise is something I'm seeing more and more on cars. Originally, I was like, I'm never going to use that, right? It doesn't work. It's pointless using it. And it's something that now I'm using so much more often. Let me explain what it is. Without my foot on the brake or the accelerator, if I'm doing 60 miles an hour and the car in front goes to 40 miles an hour, what's going to happen is I'm then going to slow the car down without pressing anything, because the car's going to realize that the car in front is doing a lower speed. And we can also even set the distance between the car in front. Now, if you're thinking this is well complicated, what is Luke talking about? I want to press the accelerator, I want to press the brake. Feels weird not pressing the brake. Look, I get it. And I've been there, to be honest with you. You could drive to London from Manchester on the motorway, and you stay on that motorway and you don't press the brake or accelerator because the car's going to brake. Adaptive cruise is a really cool piece of tech. Big selling point and the big win for Volvo that we all know is the safety. Everybody knows Volvo, they say, are one of the safest car brands in the world. Look, yes, it's got the lane keep. If you come out the lane and there's another car that's coming on, what the Volvo's going to do is it's going to stop you and bring you back in. A big win for the Ultra spec in the XC90 is the head-up display. If you're familiar with head-up display, you're probably thinking I know all about it. If you're not, let's explain, right? The window screen at the bottom, there's a screen that projects my speed and other information onto the windscreen. When I've had a car without head-up display after driving one, It's one of those things where you think, this would be cool if it had head-up display. Is it a necessity? No, it's not, because the speed's on the dash in front of me. I don't need it. But again, there's a lot of luxuriousness and a lot of luxurious features on a car of this value that we don't need, that become a standard that we're used to while we're driving. I know that if I'd had head-up display previously, I'm going to want it again. So the engine in the Volvo XC90, this particular one, is a plug-in hybrid, all right? A lot of tax benefits with the plug-in hybrid, if that's your thing. So it's a 2-litre petrol engine and electric motor, which both drive all 4 wheels, making it an all-wheel drive. The car's a 455 brake horsepower vehicle. Now, a car of this size, I'd expect plenty of power, and that's a strong amount of power. So I'd rate the T8 engine. In terms of the feeling of the T8 engine, feels very powerful. You know, it's very, very pokey, I would say, as I put my foot down. So we're looking at 700 torque and 0 to 60 in just over 5 seconds. Plenty of speed, more than enough power for the car. Another thing to remember as well is when we're quoting you 455 brake horsepower, again, you've got to have the battery charged in order to achieve that. I'm not saying that the car's not powerful when the battery's not charged, because it is. It's a very powerful car. But in order to achieve the quoted stats, you need to be charging that battery. The battery is going to get you 44 miles. So obviously it's not loads, but like most plug-in hybrids, the batteries aren't that big. MPG, miles per gallon, Volvo are quoting 217, right? If you keep the battery charged at all times. Now, what we see, being realistic with a lot of plug-in hybrid drivers, is the battery's not charged at all times. You've got to remember, if you're not keeping that battery charged, you're in a complete petrol engine. Now, MPG, because being honest with you right now, the battery's not charged, we're operating about 35 miles per gallon. So as long as you keep your battery charged frequently, you'll achieve a very, very strong miles per gallon. Look, I really hope this video has brought you value, right? The XC90 sits in a category where there's so many options available and so many choices. And if you're going for the XC90, I appreciate people study the car in depth. So I hope we've helped you. If you really want to know more about cars and you're looking for more and you really like the content and it's helped you, I'd really appreciate if you can like and subscribe. It really helps us deliver more videos like this. Have a great day and keep going. Thank you.